If I find my way home, yeah.
Okay, so where were we? Okay, what I did so far, so you see I just work now on the back. I wanted to film, but actually I started gluing some paper and I couldn't stop. So I don't know if you managed to see it. Ah, do you see it? Yes, you do. I didn't try to do something specific. I just wanted to do something a little with a little poetry in it, but without representing anything. So the background has been painted a little darker than the purple on the sides. When I say darker, I mean I took the same purple with some white and I added a little brown to make it look a little warmer and darker. And then before it was dry, I drew with the tip of the brush. I drew in the paint before it dried. So that's how I ended with a flower kind of engraved in the paint. And then I added some, I will show you. I did little dots with a Sharpie, a permanent marker. It's like some paint actually. And it's a bronze metallic. It's like a very dark gold, almost copper, but less orange than copper, more goldish. So I used that, and then it dried during the night, and just now I glued some paper. So I glued mostly this paper. It's like a tissue paper, but it's really made to be glued. You should find that in the art and craft supply store. I bought this one in Paris, but I'm basically sure that you will find the same kind of papers here. I saw some here. If you live in Germany, you will find them easily, because I think that the French ones are actually German. I'm not sure, but in England you will find them as well. Maybe not this specific one, because this specific one I bought it like, I don't know, 10 years ago, but they renew their collection all the time. At the beginning I wanted to put this paper on the sides too, but I thought that it would be actually more appropriate. Finally I decided to continue what was on the front, because you see I have branches here and I wanted to continue them. I just added some flowers which are kind of I don't know, not very realistic. I never saw flowers like that on trees, but I wanted to do something a little whimsical, like branches and flowers in the dark, in the night, because it's an owl, so it was appropriate. And I thought it would add a little poetry, and with the small flowers at the back, I think it fits well together. The other papers are remainings, rests of papers that I had, and I collect them like that in a plastic pocket, and when I need a little piece I can find them like that. Actually my collection of paper is that is nothing. That represents maybe 1/2% of all what I have. I have so many papers. It's very difficult for me to throw away a beautiful paper. I'm crazy about fabrics and papers, and I keep any tiny bit, and my house is becoming like a trash. Also, while I'm here, you see the you know the paper we use in the kitchen, it's not tissue paper, it's a towel, you know, paper towel, you know, that we use in the kitchen. It's sold in rolls. When there is some paint on them, I always keep them, and I was keeping them. I've been keeping them since years, and I didn't know what to do with them. And I saw Jenny Bailey video where she suggests to do things with them. I will do a video about that, knowing that it's not my original idea. Look at this one. Oh, that's so beautiful. It's not my idea, and I suppose that it's maybe not Jenny Bailey original idea. I don't know. There are so many ways to recycle. Okay, I'm a little carried away from the subject, so I wanted to do something poetic, something which is there without being there. It looks like nothing, but it's there. And the paint, the purple paint goes through the tissue papers. All are transparent papers, but I used them purposely because I wanted the purple to go through. Here it's drying right now, but it's almost dry because it's very hot today. So on the sides, I made this. I'm going to show you every side. So this, I made a moon here. Because it's the night, it seemed to me appropriate. So you see I continued the branches, so it gives kind of almost a trompe-l'oeil effect, make believe that the branch is really here, and I continued like that. Underneath there is the tail. I didn't finish the underneath, so I can do it in front of you. You see that here the color is darker. I did that purposely. I'm going to show you how. Just I took my darker color and I just did this, like if I was doing a stencil. It's exactly the same technique. So this kind of brush, if you come across them, it's not a stencil brush, because the stencil brushes are kind of straight here. They are not like layered like this. But I absolutely love these brushes because you can glue with them, you can paint with them, you can do stencil with them, you can do this effect with them. I absolutely love them. I have a few ones, they are very old. I absolutely love them. Okay, so I took some paints. I took some Van Dyke brown here and some mixing white here. So here they are. Don't know if you see them. So I'm going to mix them together. I have two brushes. This one I may need it, but I'm not sure. It's a synthetic brush, kind of straight and kind of a little square. This one is some Martin. It's more precise. It's what I used to do the other branches, so I will probably use that as well. Okay, so a little water, mix a little. So I'm trying to find the same color as on the other side, so it's a kind of consistent with the rest. So you see here I continue the other branch.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to lean a little the box, otherwise I don't see what I'm doing. One was already made, but the other side are a little darker, that's why I'm coming back in it. The flowers will be made later. The flowers, so I just take some white and that's it. I've made the 2 coats of white here, and I added on the branches a little. Logically, the white, as it's on the right side here, it should be also on the right side here, but I had to continue according to what was on the sides, but it doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. We are not doing a trompe-l'oeil painting right now, so I'm going to add the center of the flowers as I did on the other side, and it's the bronze color. It's just some Sharpie, you see, but you can do that with some paint. If you don't have a Sharpie, you take some paint and you do it. I just do it like that first because I love the color, second because it's so simple like that. Okay, I think that basically I did what was necessary. You can add a second coat. I like because it's a little shiny, so it gives kind of a highlight on the flowers, what I like. Okay, basically we are done with this side. So here is the front. I just signed it with some white and some bronze color. I think you see it. I put the year too. I like to put the years on my paintings. So once I'm here, what do? Usually I let it dry, of course. This side must dry completely. It's dry when you touch it, but it doesn't mean that the glue underneath is dry. Of course, if you wanted to hang it on a wall, you would have to glue a hook or something to hang a painting. You can go in the art and craft supply stores and you will find many different kinds. Just, I think that if you want it to hold well, you will have to use very strong glues like epoxy glues, which is in 2 materials that, you know, the glue and the hardener, you mix them together and it's very hard. Or maybe some neoprene, I don't know how we say in English, neoprene, very strong glues, of course, so it will hold. I don't plan to hang it because first I want the back to be seen, so that's why I prefer to make it stand. Of course we won't see the underneath, but well, not a big deal. You can also glue a ribbon and make a hook and then hang it from the ribbon. There are so many possibilities, and then the ribbon may become a part of the decor once it's completely dry. I of course varnish it, so you can use an acrylic varnish. I'm not a big fan of the acrylic varnishes because I think that they dry but they remain kind of slightly sticky, tacky, even when they are dry. I don't like that, and they are kind of dull. I like using polyurethane varnish, but the problem is that you have to clean the brushes with some mineral spirit or turpentine, things like that. So I pulled out 2 varnish that I had. This one you are going to find it in the US. It's Varnishing polyurethane. It's basically for the furniture, but I use it for that too. It can yellow with time if you keep your object packed and not in the light. In the light it's not going to become yellow, but if you keep it in a, I don't know, in a cabinet or not in the light, the varnish may start yellowing a little. When I say yellowing, just a little, not completely yellow, of course. But if you put back the object in the light, it's going to be less yellow also. But I like that because it makes the object really stronger. It makes the paint really completely protected, and it gives a much more beautiful effect on the paint, I think. Unfortunately, this one is completely ruined, as you can see. I try to use it. No, it's completely dry. I will have to throw it. I just kept it to show you what I would buy here in the US. In France I would buy something like that I still have. So it started becoming dry, but I found some still good underneath there's kind of skin which became hard, but when you dig in the skin you can have more varnish underneath. So it's exactly the same. It's polyurethane too, exactly the same, except that this one is glossy. Yes, clear gloss, oil-based clear gloss. This one, it's not clear, golden. Oh, I must try, I'm not sure. Yes, I think that it's chêne doré. It's golden oak. It's not transparent. I will try. Okay, we are going to try. You know what? Because it must not be very obvious. We will see. So I'm not going to varnish the back. I'm not going to varnish the side that I just made. I'm going to try to varnish one side. Yeah, I will try to varnish this side. And I will tell you what I think. Okay. So you see here it's dry, but if you dig in it, you see all what is coming out. So you still have some remaining. I want to use what is remaining because these kind of things can cost still. Let's see. Yeah, it gives like a kind of patina. It's a satin, it's not glossy. It's not terrible, you know. Yeah, I'm going to use that. The color is not obvious. So that takes at least 24 hours to dry, I would say. Okay, I'm going to do all the sides which are not fresh. But it gives such a nice finish, you know. It's so beautiful once it's dry and it's not tacky. There is another possibility also, it's to put some wax. Wax gives also a very nice effect. I will do this side too. Fortunately, it's rather hot in LA, so it's going to dry fast, hopefully. But you see, we don't see the stroke of the brush. That's what I like with this kind of varnish. The finish is always wonderful. That's why I really like polyurethane. Yeah, you see, I put the varnish on the moon and the moon still remains white, so the varnish is really not much yellow at all. It must be barely visible, very light. We must not forget the corners like that, the edges. Okay. What is that? Oh, there was something stuck. I was wondering what was that. Probably on my paper here. I never regret when I use this varnish because the finish is always so beautiful. Okay, I think one coat will be enough. Anyway, if you think that it's not enough and after a while you can always add a second coat and that's it. Yes, I was saying wax is also a possibility. The only thing is that you must not put your object in the sun because then the wax is melting, which is kind of weird because if you have piece of art where the wax is dripping from it. It's kind of embarrassing. That's why I really like this varnish. The only problem is that now I have to clean my brush with some mineral spirit. That is the only inconvenient, but otherwise it's great. Okay, so I just noticed a little problem. Here the year almost disappeared, and it was the brown Sharpie, and I had some browns also on my name which almost disappeared. I don't understand, because on the flower it didn't disappear, so I started thinking why it stays on the flower and why it didn't stay here. So I thought maybe because I put some white paint underneath, so it was not, it didn't sink in the paint, the purple paint, but the purple paint is some paint too. I don't know, maybe the surface in the purple was more porous than on the white, I don't know. Here I didn't put some white, so I don't know why it almost disappeared as well. Anyway, in such a situation we must not panic. It's always good to learn from unexpected events, you know. I'm going to let it dry, and then I will come back. I will rewrite my name correctly. I will add the year again. I will let that dry, and I will put a coat of varnish on them just there to fix them. Yes, to make them stay so they won't disappear. I really don't know what happened, because really on my flowers there was no problem at all. So the mystery of the owl. Okay, so I see you the next time. So the next time I have a great project for you. It's something that I've been wanting to do since years, that I made a little in a demonstration at Rougier Play years ago, but not completely as I wanted. And I plan to do it in front of you, so I'm going to show you and learn in the same time as you. I'm not going to tell you what it is, I'm just telling you paper mache and tissue paper. You will see, it's a kind of a surprise, and it's going to be very easy, practical, whimsical, and you will be able to do it with your children if you want to, and it's going to be really, really fun. I see you next time. Please like this video if you do like it. Of course, if you don't like it, don't like my video. That makes sense. Of course, if you want to comment or ask a question, please feel free to do so under the description box. And if you want to subscribe, it's even better, of course. Thank you very much for watching me until the end. I see you very soon. Bye bye.